Morning, good morning. Morning, Adelaide, AJ, Looney, Justina. Hopefully everybody's having a good morning. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be here this morning. I'm already feeling like I'm fading. Actually going to put this Coke away and start drinking some water. I didn't start feeling like this until about 1 o'clock yesterday, but I mean, I'm already feeling this way. It's not even 9:30.
There we
Morning.
go. Let's go. Under 20s.
What are you in?
XPED.
XPEV from yesterday.
You're in this at 10:20 from yesterday, or you're up higher?
No, I'm in this at 1076 from yesterday.
Nice. After hours didn't make you feel too good, but then you woke up and you're like, whoa, yay!
Yeah, but there's no volume after hours. They traded like 100 and gazillion shares yesterday. They traded like 2 million after hours.
Yeah.
Amazon too.
Oh, that's a nice move. Let's go.
What are you looking for out of this?
$1.25.
15 seconds to the U.S. market open.
So
The low is
950.
618. No,
I called it. I said $1.
$1.25.
All right, guys, 10 seconds. Let's get
Here we
get
go.
focus here.
Go under 10.
Good
Go
luck,
under
everybody.
10. This is a nice start. There it is. That was a nice quick move. Put a nice little trail
ENTH,
in
Craig
here.
Hallam raising to a buy. EHTH, correction. EHTH, eHealth, Craig Hallam raising to a buy.
You guys have any shorts on tops? The OPS?
Hotel, Tango
No.
Hotel. MGN, Amgen, announcing phase 133, AMG 133 phase 1 results showed up to 14.5% reduction in body weight at highest dose after 2 weeks. That's Alpha Michael Golf November.
Got a big spread, but
MVIS, Microvision, entered into asset purchase agreement with IBO Automotive Systems.
EPD
For,
all over again.
15 million euros at closing. Michael Victor India Sandy.
Tops halted, huh? Watching Beak.
EHTH.
Oh, on volume. That OKTA is interesting. It's
spread's been all over the place though.
obviously that was earnings yesterday after the bell.
Yeah. Coin is doing something too.
LI off the bottom.
Nice. Oh, this is on chart. Solid.
Beak is still going.
There it goes. There.
PDD, Jesus Christ.
It's all the way back up.
It's over 81.
AEHR.
Yeah. What to do with that? That was kind of crazy.
Dang, AEHR is doing.
S up.
Coming up at 9:45, the manufacturing PMI for November.
I was thinking about AEHR
dollar.
through 28. Nice move, but the volume would have pretty sketch.
Just got on a beak.
Nice move there on Beak.
Expecting 47.6. Then at 10 a.m., construction spending for October minus 0.3% expected. And the manufacturing, ISM manufacturing PMI 49.8 expected. It's coming up.
Just
at 10.
covered half. I went in semi-small because I wanted to see what it was going to do, but I did all right, I guess. I didn't get an ad, but AHR went good.
Yeah, the volume was real shit there.
Yeah.
And it looked like
1,000 right now.
Yeah, and it looked like it was going to go through 28, and then it just died. I was getting ready to put an order out at 28.20s, but didn't even go through.
CFLT, if it could have got back up to 23, had a nice move off the bottom, 21.20 to 22.70. I just wanted a little more. And it happened really fast as soon as they kind of pulled it up too. That didn't help anything. Coins going back.
It's out of my control.
HR going back up. Watch
Shares
that.
we have in that XBEV, Tim?
44,000.
Feds Bowman says we still have a lot of work to do, but it is appropriate for us to slow the pace of increases.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that, Jag.
Fed Governor Bowman.
No trades.
Bowman says, I expect ongoing rate increases.
Let's go, baby.
Coming meetings, ongoing increases in rate hikes at coming meetings.
I gotta grab this call. I'll be right back.
Says my views on size and pace of rate hikes will be guided by incoming data.
Where you going?
Bowman said expect policy will have to remain
So that's a
restrictive
good
for
feeling.
some time to get inflation down.
And we're right back to this crap, huh? One good day. Did Thomas stop in and say he's not trading?
He didn't. I didn't hear him at all today.
And XBEV took me out with that move.
You got out
Another trucker.
on the bottom part of VWAP? I thought your stop would have been somewhere up around like 1050. Actually, I thought it would have been like 1250.
Put in a trailing stop, a 15-cent trailing stop.
Only 15 cents?
I'm back.
It's unlike
Yeah.
you.
No, I had a lot of shares.
So why didn't you just take like 75%?
I don't do that.
Well, then I don't want to hear you
Gold trading
complaining when this is at 9
$1,800,
later.
$14.50 at the high, up more than $50. Gold trading at the highest
Okay.
level since August.
Swear I'll ban you.
Okay.
Without hesitation.
Okay.
Might even prevent you from celebrating Hanukkah.
When does it
Okay.
start here, Steve?
2 weeks. So I think it's a week from Sunday. A week from Sunday night,
Okay.
I believe.
You think about celebrating it this
The
year,
end-
Jag?
I am.
The end of it is coincides with Christmas.
ACIW up.
Yeah.
Actually, 2 weeks from Sunday. 2 weeks from Sunday. Yeah, starts. I think it starts the 18th.
Look at PDD.
I'm not
Goldman
allowed
says
to.
not
Vesh is gonna
seeing
ban me if I
significant
do.
Impact on reducing inflation. They are still at high levels, and I need to see our actions have an impact. Goldman said, until then, I expect we will have a slightly higher terminal rate than I had anticipated at the September meeting. S&P futures right now at 40.91 off the highs.
You in that, Devin?
He's got us muted, so I'm gonna assume he is.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's long.
Yeah. That thing's
Did
crazy.
you short tops?
We don't have shares.
I wish. Wish I shorted AEHR or coin. It's coin I was looking at, but
I don't have shares on tops either.
chickened out of coin. And it would have been good.
Devin.
It's $90.
Devin's gonna come back and be like, I made some money, but ooh, I did not like that one. I just think it's funny sometimes when he trades these and he's like, these are not my trades. I don't know why I do this, but yet he keeps doing
Yeah.
It's because it keeps
'Cause he makes
working.
money.
ADHR
Yeah,
done.
it's because it keeps working. It'll burn him once, though, eventually.
We all get burned.
Yep. He hasn't been burned in a
More than
long
others.
time, at least that we know of.
And he's okay taking a loss because he doesn't let the losses get too big.
Yeah,
So, he
as
would
of
end
late, though, he's getting a little out of control because his whole argument was, I'm never risking more than 20 bucks, but then he's been adding into trades. And when he adds into a trade, there's no way he's only down 20 bucks. Not with the size he's
No,
trading.
No, he's
ACON,
taking losses bigger
Clarion,
than 20 if he takes a
diversified
loss.
portfolio with noticeable
But,
Well, that's
volumes
it. That's his
at
thing, is he's always
least
preaching that his stop loss is so
indicator
close to where he
buy
gets
market
in
stuff, but
that he
probably
never
has
loses
something
that much. But like if he's short in
Doesn't-
PDD right now, he's getting spanked.
No, he was looking at PDD long. I don't think he was looking at PDD short.
Well, I sure hope he's long.
Yeah, that one, I think he said he was long or he wasn't sure. I forget exactly what he said at the beginning. Before the market opened when we were chatting.
I'm in OKTA. Just
What's
covered. I'm in OKTA.
No, you're not. You said you just covered.
I covered some.
Hmm. Oh, you guys do that whole partial thing, huh?
Yeah.
Well, the way
Best, I'm
PDD is
getting, like-
going, we're either gonna hear "Go
YEXT is
bitches"
earnings.
or he's just gonna disappear.
I'm pretty sure he went long.
You're so bad, man. You're so bad.
Well, I mean, look at how straight up this thing is. If he's long, how can he not be a goal?
I didn't even look at it. I'm still watching. That's tough. I'm still watching XBet, so that way I can bitch about it later and get banned.
You will too.
I know. I'm looking forward to it.
Just got
Looking
out.
forward to you throwing the hammer down.
Watching NVAX, but like up through 1750 on some volume. I'm assuming once PDD gets an actual pullback here, it'll, I'm assuming, take him out if he was long.
Where's my bag here?
This thing is nuts lately, man. Gave all of it back overnight. Then they're just like, nah, I'd rather be up here, guys.
So someone put out dry cleaning in my bag. Was a customer at some point, is not a customer now. Should I take it, assuming that they want me to clean it?
In your bag?
It is in my bag. I just drove by. I'm like, wait a minute. That's my bag.
They used to be a customer, but now they're not?
Correct.
Damn, somebody stole your business.
Eh, that's the way this business works.
47.7 on the manufacturing PMI for November.
And on top of that,
The
they moved
estimate
since the
was
last time they used me. This,
47.6.
like, that's not even their old address.
47.7 on the PMI.
I'm guessing they probably don't want me to pick up. So I left it. I took my bag though. I left it closed on the floor.
If you did, that'd be great.
Right? Like, I'll take my bag back. Thank you very much. If everybody didn't have a freaking ring, I would totally do that. Like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even know. No, I have no idea who took your bag. No, that's not my white creepy van.
That's not my white creepy thing.
No, that's not me wearing the VIP cleaner's jacket. I have no idea who that is. No, that's not my phone number on the side of the truck.
Look, someone clearly dressed up as me and stole my truck to frame me.
That's right. That's right. But by the way, since your clothes are all on the ground, do you want them clean? We can do that for you.
Had a little one on Neo.
How am I dealing with wash ales?
Oh,
I am
boo!
simply not
You
losing.
didn't get
You
it,
guys
Pete?
What happened to
Talking too much,
PDD?
Huh?
What happened to PDD?
Dude, we all
PDD
thought
split
you were
down.
long PDD and we're just
Fuck.
waiting for you to come back going, go bitches!
Alright,
Well,
fucking
no, actually,
bad,
Vesh
dude.
thought you were short on it and you were gone for the rest of the day because you blew up your account.
I didn't say
Did
blow
it?
up his account. I said if he's short, he might not come back.
I did not short that one.
So what did you trade?
Neo off the bottom. I just got, I mean, a decent share size, but it was an okay win, but I was hoping it would blast back through VWAP and go to highs. It didn't want to do that yet, so
You know what did do that?
PDD, but that thing is a little unpredictable lately, bro. I don't normally like unpredictable. You know me.
The tax
For
trader
trade stuff
status.
that's kinda
So
safe and risky.
my
Biden said-
CPA
Yeah, Vash
does
is gonna
that,
ban me?
and yeah, he logs everything
I just got
as
that
if
one.
I have trader
Yeah, he's
tax
gonna-
status.
He's going to ban me because I only
trader
had a
status, trader
15
tax
cent
status.
stop loss instead of a
whatever the
$2.50
TTS stands
stop
for.
loss.
Trader tax status, yeah. But I am not mark to market. I have never applied for mark to market. which
Good
would
reason.
eliminate wash sales. But
Yeah, so I got
I'm still
stopped out.
trying to figure out how wash sales actually benefit me.
I heard that. You guys were all talking
Because
about
if
that. And I was
the only
messing
way it
with
would
that, so
really
I was just
matter
like,
is if you
"Well,
lose
just
more than 3 grand
wasn't this."
on a single
I
trade.
knew this Fengu was gonna go, but geez, the volume is still shit. You just can't jump
At least that's
into
my
that.
understanding. Because
I
you can
haven't
claim up to
seen
$3,000
some
in
good-
losses, but if you're profitable on the year,
Okay.
pretty sure the losses you've taken don't matter. But then again, I don't know what the heck I'm talking about, so.
Nice 2-day total on XPF.
I actually asked another firm. It's one that is supposedly just for traders,
Where's it at now?
and
Oh,
I
hanging around here.
have not received any reply yet.
Wow.
Well, I tried to do, I spent all day on Monday trying
Yeah,
to do more
trading
research,
sideways,
and
did that
the
one.
research on the topic is absolute dog shit. Like, my question to
Kinda
all these
like
people
Neo, which I'm kind of surprised
is
they're trading similar. I expected
if I have
XFed to
mark
maybe
to market,
dive and-
are you telling me that every time I take a loss on something, I can write
Volume
that
was really
off
good in
versus
XFed.
my profits on the year?
Oh, the volume has been huge the past 2 days.
Like, no one seems to be able to answer that. Some people are like, oh, yes, you can. And some people are like, no, that's not how it works. Some people are saying, well, if you're profitable in the year, it doesn't
Oh,
matter because you
man.
can only write it off against your income if you're not profitable in the year.
Now it's going down.
You won't trade this whole month. Why? Teach me something. I seriously, I've been trying to figure this out. So like when people tell me something, I will then go research it myself. I'm not going to take
Should have
anything
held some.
that somebody tells me as rule of thumb. You want to get kicked now, or you want to wait until 9 to get banned?
THTH week.
I'm sorry, I didn't see the rules at the beginning of chat.
I straight up told you the rules.
So we can't bitch about trades that we made money on?
No, you can. Just this one specifically, I'm going to ban you because it made no sense.
So a guy that trades on his phone and usually loses after he's sufficiently green and puts in a 15-cent stop, which is basically a 1% move, is the poor trader in this instance.
In this instance, you put a 15-cent trail on something where one candle moves more than 15 cents. So you weren't giving it any wiggle room. You were essentially saying, if it doesn't go straight down, I'm getting out.
This sounds like trading advice, bro. I don't know. This
No,
sounds a lot like
Giving
trading
them,
advice.
giving them my personal
You're kind of
opinion.
telling them how to trade.
Yeah, sort of. I'm allowed to do that. He's not in the
Oh.
trade.
Are you allowed to do that? No, I don't think
You're
you
allowed
are,
to.
bro.
You're allowed to tell him what you would do. That's your opinion. That's the whole point of it being advice.
It can't be advice.
I'm
You can't
giving
give
him
trading
advice on what I would do. It's a personal opinion. Which, if
So
you
that's
take
not
that as
advice.
advice, yeah, well, yeah,
It's all the
it's how
FCC
you
and awesome
interpret it.
ethic.
Yeah, let me ask the
You're
SEC. Be right
specifically
back. I
telling-
got him on speed dial. No, I didn't specifically tell you anything. I told you what you did was stupid. That's not advice or anything. That's just me telling you how it is. And I was telling you why I thought that way. I'm not telling you. It wasn't stupid. I mean, if you're looking to lock in profits, that's fine. I do it all the time. But on something where your average was where it was, I mean, even if you locked in 90%, you know, whatever it may be, I would love to see a chance at this going much lower, especially after such a big gap down.
So I hear what you're saying for the bigger picture, but for me, it's not even worth holding 10% after getting out of 90%. Like, why would I even bother?
Because that 10% could go all the way down to $8, and you'd probably make just as much as you did on 10% thing as you did on 90%.
No.
And you'd still make a pretty decent chunk.
Yeah, that's mathematically impossible.
I mean, I'm sure it is, but I mean, like I said, I was thinking more 75-25, but
Yeah. So
No,
75-25 would have to go down another $3.
I mean, from 10 to 8, that's $2. So, I mean, you're getting pretty close. But that's not even my point. My whole point was the trailing stop, I feel, was maybe a little too tight. When I'm looking to put in a trailing stop, I'm looking to give it at least a little bit of wiggle room. So if you're putting in a trailing stop that's only the size of one candle, it's probably not a great trailing stop, because you're essentially saying it needs to go straight down and never bounce. But that's just not usually how tickers work.
For the foreseeable future,
I
updates on Albertsons Steel will
thought
be
with
on
the
a
gap
quarterly
down that
basis,
15 cents was enough. It wasn't.
Kilo Romeo Alpha.
And
Yeah, it is what it is.
my other question was, the other side of it is, how much profit that's right there in front of me do I really want to give back? You know, if you give it a 20-cent or 25-cent
LNT.
trail on 1,000 shares, you're giving up $250. Yeah, there is a reward possibility, but you're giving up $250 if this is the bottom.
How much? I mean, what kind of a trailer you think I'm talking about here? I wasn't talking, like, I'm literally saying you take the biggest candle and just make that your trail, is essentially what I'm saying, which was closer to 25 cents. So it would have only been another 10 cents.
Right.
Which it might have still
essentially
stopped you out. I don't know.
Which is, well, yeah, it would have, which is still another $100. So how much profit do you really want to give up?
Yeah, but what I was saying is, if you take 75% off where you did, like if you're gonna do something on a short leash like that, you could just take a big chunk of it off, and then, so essentially I'm saying you could use 2 trailing stops. Like that's actually something I've seen Brian doing a lot lately. So you will put a trailing stop for 75% of your position where you want it, and then you can still have the other 25%, maybe, like, I don't know, 15 cents higher than that one. So it would be like a 30-cent trail. So if you did give more back, it would just be on a smaller position size. But then if it does end up working out, then you still have 25% of your position to let it work lower.
I hear you.
It's, again, all speculation.
I'm not saying you're wrong. It's a comfort level, and I've just recently, in the past few months, started with these trailing stops.
Oh, I think they're a great idea.
I'm a novice in the trailing stop world, so I will make blunders. Always be green.
Oh yeah, of course. I think the thing that kind of threw me off is I know that you're more than capable of doing silly things when it comes to, like, red to green to red to green to red to green kind of thing. And you were so far in the green on this one that I didn't think maybe giving a little wiggle room would be an issue with you. But I don't, again, know how much size you had either. So.
Well, the other thing was pre-market. I could have gotten out at 9:93 at 7 a.m. when I could first trade, and then it went up to almost 10:40. So
Right.
I didn't want to, I had already let it go 40 cents, 45 cents the other way, and I didn't really feel like going through that again and giving up a bunch. But I'll learn the stocks at some point, and I'll learn to trim and trail appropriately.
I mean, to be completely honest, I am definitely not one that loves to trim and just scale out, but I've seen it work so many times that when I do get bigger size, I know that it's valuable to at least try it. Especially on something
really
like
a trim guy
XBEV.
either.
Yeah.
I like to shave it all off.
But I was going to say, especially on something like XBEV where, yeah, I figured. You have so much room off of that move from yesterday that it's almost begging to try to go lower.
Yeah, or it's a stupid Chinese stock and all of a sudden it's $12 before I look at my phone.
Oh, true. Very true. That's one disadvantage of
that's
trading
never
from your
happened.
phone.
Because that's never happened to me before.
Yeah, never.
Never happened. No, not Steve. Oh.
Well, at least Thomas isn't missing anything.
Is he out hunting deer again?
No, he's sick.
Uh-oh.
We're all sick. Even
COVID?
Brian in the ISW room, he's not trading today. I like how I'm typing to you addedly. Just because the reason I typed in the first place because I was having the conversation with.
Coming up, construction spending for October, ISM manufacturing PMI for November.
VAXX like it near 3.50-ish. 60 KTB.
Ben Hedges.
Huh. You know what? I should double check this. Make sure I didn't, by accident, double my position.
When was it? Looking at the thumbnail.
Construction spending minus 0.3% in line. Manufacturing PMI 49%.
One year. Sure I'm not missing anything. Look at PDD.
You guys are all over that one, huh?
What else to watch?
It's up 2.5%.
Yeah, but look at the chart.
Yeah, it's grinding up.
It's up a lot more than that if you look at the chart. It's just opened, or the close was much higher.
Well, it opened lower than the close. Yeah.
GT Goodyear Tire
Have to keep in
and
mind.
NASCAR announced new multi-year agreement as exclusive tire for NASCAR's top 3 national series. That's Golf Tango.
Not finding the video. Guy puts out a ton of videos on credit cards and stuff. Is there something that I can like search? Yeah, Trader 800.
Hey business warriors, so Robinhood was known for taking money from the rich and giving it to the poor. But now the Robinhood trading app is taking money from you and giving it to the IRS. Well, not exactly. Let's get into it. All right guys, well, welcome to the show. So about 8 million people opened broke. brokerage accounts in the first 3 quarters of 2020. And this was due to the bear market brought about by the pandemic, but also buying opportunities. Many people got into stock trading and investing for the first time. And actually, if you want to get into stock trading or investing, why not check out Webull? You can get 2 free stocks just for signing up and funding your account. Link below. Anyway, so financial planner Brian Rook got a text from a client who said that he had put $30,000
mRNA interesting.
and had been trading in volumes of $200,000 to $2 million per day. So I thought he only had $30,000. But what he means by that is doing multiple trades per day. So for example, if this guy bought $30,000 worth of a certain company stock in the morning, sold it perhaps an hour later at a small profit, that would be $30,000 worth of trading volume on his account for that day. But then if later in the day he used that same money that he just got back because he sold the stock to buy another company stock for $30,000, that's now $60,000 worth of trading volume for the day. Okay, so he's going in and out of stock rapidly, and that's all added together, and that's called trading volume. Now in this way, his trading volume hit $45 million for the year, but not all of his trades were successful. So he probably made several $million in profit, but when you factor in the losses that he made from his unsuccessful trades, he actually only made $45,000 in profit by the end of the year. That was on top of his regular salary at his job, which was $60,000. So he actually took home $105,000 in income that year. And you know, that's actually really good, really successful, considering he only started in his account with $30,000. So he actually did really well. But here is the problem. He did not know about the wash sale rule. What is the wash sale rule? So the wash sale rule is, this is too noisy, nothing to do with washing anyway. The wash sale rule states that if you sell a stock at a loss, you cannot deduct that loss from your income for tax purposes if you rebuy the same security again within 30 days. And this is because some people, if they take a on-paper loss on their stock, or their portfolio goes down, that stock goes down in their portfolio, they may then sell it just to get a realized loss so that they can deduct that from their taxes and then rebuy the same stock the next day at basically the same price, and they're back in and they just wait for it to go up again, and they've in the meantime got a little tax deduction for themselves. Now our Robinhood trader was constantly going in and out of all of the most popular stocks. He really thought he had diamond hands, but he never once stopped to consider the wash sale rule. Okay? He never actually waited 30 days before buying the same security after a loss. So he ended up with a capital gain of $1.4 million on his tax return because all of his losses were disallowed by the wash sale rule, and on that income he actually ended up with an $800,000 tax bill. Now I'm not sure how they got to the figure of $800,000. In my math it might be a little bit lower than that, but that's what his financial advisor said. So you know, I guess we just go with that. So if you do account for all this guy's losses that were disallowed, he only actually made $45,000 profit in his bank account for the year, but he now faces a bill of $800,000 with the IRS. So how do you avoid this? Well, just do not buy the same security again within 30 days if you've sold it with a sizable loss. Okay, if you sell at a small loss, a few $100, probably doesn't matter. It's not going to
Coming up at
by the
10:30
and
now.
this is only really going to apply to people who are
Storage
trading in the
is
market.
already
Buy and hold investors who just put money in and hold and rarely sell, just rebalance their portfolio every now and again. You're probably not going to get hit with losses disallowed, okay, because of the wash sale rule. It's great for people who are trading. So the key thing is to remember that if you ever sell something at a loss, you have to wait 30 days until.
See, I mean, even this is confusing. Like, I don't understand. Yeah, but how? How does he owe $800,000 in taxes? Wouldn't all of his losses counteract all the gains? Like, isn't that the whole point? I don't understand. I don't understand that at all. And this is kind of what I was getting at of why nothing explains it correctly. Like, they just give you like the broad of everything. They don't give you like the actual, they don't actually explain anything, is I guess what I'm getting at. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I've asked my CPA about it, and he basically told me if you're winning, like if you're profitable at the end of the year, you shouldn't have to worry about it. So I don't. Now you're making me want to do research on that guy.
Did you?
No. I don't want to give back everything I made today in one trade.
PDD is psychotic, man. I made a little bit more on XBEV again. It's just I'm not quite sure where that's going at.
Prevents you from claiming losses on certain sales.
I posted.
This is the part that I don't understand.
I told you I was in it when you guys were chatting. That's why I got out, because like nobody's listening. We're just talking.
I was too busy getting reprimanded to hear you.
Oh, no.
When were you in and out?
When you guys were talking. I don't know.
What? Give me prices, you prick. Give me prices, you prick.
The first one 984-ish, out at like 970. The second one, I just got out of it. My average was like 996, and I got out right below 990. Just because I don't know if this is gonna break here or not yet. I'll watch PDD now though.
Is there a new strand of COVID?
Decent size though.
Why is Myrna doing this?
You're taking the big moves.
COVID. I am. No, there are no big moves. So this hasn't made a big move yet. So it's kind of hard to get the big one.
You got all 6 cents of that
rock, move. I'd be excited.
Yeah, you got all 6 cents of that move. Good job.
AMD actually is kind of interesting. AMD. That's a tricky one.
Did I miss anything?
Not a lot, man. AMD is coming down kind of hard from the top.
In episode
big
239,
emergency.
we talk about
Well, the
how you
kids
can
threw up
owe
everywhere.
$800,000 in taxes on a profit of 45
Why don't you bring the
grand.
chickens in to clean it up?
I should have. I'm actually glad it happened because I got out of
Welcome to Lily Asset Show. I'm your host, Bob
OKTA.
Lully, and this is episode number 239. Thanks
And then
for
it
tuning
spiked
in.
up.
The article that we'll link to in the show notes from Morningstar from March 26th of this year, 2021, talked about how a particular
Somebody
individual in
thanked the
Arizona
kid while you were cleaning up his
$800,000
puke?
after in
Well, I
taxes,
didn't know
ended
how
up
to buy it.
making $45,000 in stocks. How did he do it? So the story starts.
It spiked from where I got out at 65.05 to
someone saying
67.20.
I have a day job where I work full time. I make $60,000 a year. I have a
disease
Robinhood
bastard.
account on margin that I started with $30,000. But
Isolated.
yet it appears that I owe $800,000 in taxes. So it turns out that Robinhood gave him $90,000 of buying power on margin. So he put $30,000 up. He was able to swing around $90,000 worth of securities on margin. And it turns out that this guy who works full-time for an insurance company was able to do 10 to 50 trades in his account per day in the year 2020. Is this guy working full-time? He wouldn't last a week at Maluli Asset Management if he had time to do that many trades. Anyway, in calendar year 2020, his $30,000 generated gross proceeds. That's just the proceeds from the sales, not even the buys, the sales. Gross proceeds of $45 million. This guy really turned the money over a lot. His net profit was $45,000. So he started with $30,000. It's worth $75,000. Good for him. He downloads all the transactions into TurboTax. Might not be a good move. That Form 1099 was probably a couple hundred pages, but it said that he had capital gains of $1.4 million, and TurboTax tells him he owes 800 grand in taxes. Let's dive into this a little more. He's doing 10 to 50, not 10 to 15, 10 to 50 trades per day, which means none of his trades, none of his holdings were long-term in nature. If you have long-term capital gains, you pay, for most people, a reduced tax rate. That's because you have to hold these investments for a year plus. Everything else that you sell in less than a year is considered a short-term gain, and that is taxed as ordinary income, so it's taxed at your regular bracket. Since he had so much income, he had $1.8 million in profits, it's all considered ordinary income. This guy's getting taxed like he's in the NBA. So he's in a very, very high tax bracket. He also likely had losses that, trades don't always work out. That's the nature of the business. But he was probably trading back into the same stocks or similar stocks. If you do that within 30 days, you're subject to what's called the wash sale rule. And anybody who's licensed in this business knows what the wash sale rule is. But people who open accounts on Robinhood, they may not know this. So the wash sale rule, wash sale, says you cannot take a loss on your taxes if you buy back the same or similar stock within 30 days. The loss is going to be disallowed. So with this guy, any losses that he took, he couldn't use at all. What a mess. So he was disallowed all of the losses because he didn't wait the 30 days to buy back the stock, whatever stocks he was trading. So a couple of takeaways with this. First, there's three takeaways that I see.
DG,
Trading, especially margin
General
trading, is
on
really
their
dangerous.
conference
Now,
call
it's true that
says,
option trading is
continue
dangerous.
to
Driving a
see
car can be dangerous.
reductions in the
If you don't know
number
what
of
you're doing,
items
anything can be
purchased.
dangerous. That's takeaway number one. Number
For
two, the
basket
best employee at a
and
brokerage firm is
discretionary
Mr. Margin.
spending
Mr. Margin never
that
calls in sick,
resolve
never takes a vacation.
fatigue.
He works 24/7. You are paying interest when you borrow money from a brokerage firm, and guess what? When your stocks go down, the brokerage firm will have a margin call because they're going to get their money back. They don't really worry about you. They worry about getting their own capital back. So brokerage firms like to lend. Robinhood, when you open an account on the Robinhood app, it defaults you into a margin account. This leads to some really could lead to some reckless trading. The last thing, and it's kind of the overarching theme with all of this, is that margin kills people. When your equity is down to the point where you have a margin call.
Again, this is like a qualified CPA, and he still doesn't answer anything. That's what I'm saying. I just don't they make it more confusing.
CEO says we are making some modest cuts, not getting into the numbers of.
No, I believe you. I don't know. I think reaching, like I said, I was kind of worried about it too, which is why I reached out to another firm, but I still haven't heard back from him. But the current CPA that I have, he said, he's been dealing with people, traders specifically, for a while. And I mean, he's done great the last 2 years that I've used him. And I mean, his understanding is that as long as you're profitable, it's no big deal. Because again, my understanding of it is your wins will counteract all your losses. And then whatever you're left with on top, which is your wins, which would be that guy's 45,000, is then what is taxed. So I don't really know.
Prob was worth some risk.
Where they're getting this number. Like, sure, he traded $45 million worth of stock, but if you trade, what is that, 22.5 million and win with it, and then you lose the same amount with the other 22.5 million, it's zero. So you make nothing, except, who wins in that scenario? The broker, right? The commissions. So I don't know.
Reminded me of Veru, GPS, etc. Just like PDD. Ugh, very true.
Spy
Saying today.
make a decent move down.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome back.
Sorry, I was watching a video about the wash sale rule, and people were, so Adley is trying to explain it to me now, but I've done so much research on mark to market and this wash sale rule, and I swear the more research I do on it, the more confused I get. And have any of you done your research on it?
On the what?
That's not what I wanted to hear.
Yeah,
It's-
and I know what it is. It basically disallows a lot of your losses if you trade the same stock over and over again.
Yeah, within 30 days. So the wash sale rule
it
is
does.
if you lose on a stock and then you trade that same stock. So say you lose $1,000 on Tesla, like I'll use myself as an example, but then I revenge trade it within 30 days trying to make my money back. But then that next trade, it doesn't matter what I do. Say I make $1. That $1,000 loss is completely disallowed because of the wash sale rule. But if I would have waited 30 days before trading it again, it would have still been allowed. But how this affects you, I'm still trying to figure that out, because to my understanding,
You couldn't declare that loss on your taxes because you
Correct.
traded it again?
correct.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, unless you're
Now,
marked
what
to
if
market.
you win $3,000 and then you lose like $1, do you not have to declare the win?
Definitely not how it
No.
works.
Well, that's unfortunate.
But you can, on your taxes, you can fill out a form to make yourself what's called mark to market. And that essentially gets rid of the wash sale rule altogether. So that $1,000 loss, you would be able to claim even if you traded it 10 seconds later for a $1 win. However, again, I'm still trying to figure out how this matters. And the people will always bring up this example of some guy back when he traded during the GME AMC crap, where he made $45,000 in total profits from trading on the year, but somehow owed $800,000 in taxes, all because of the wash sale rule. But to me, my understanding is that's bullshit, because as long as you're profitable, all your wins from the stock market should outweigh your losses from the stock market.
Yes.
Which is my understanding of it. Now, I was trying to find an update on this guy since everyone uses that as an example, but I haven't been able to find anything. And this is what my CPA says as well. He's like, if you're profitable in the year, then there's nothing to worry about. But that example contradicts that, because he was profitable, but he made 45,000. But yet somehow, because he had so much volume and all these wash sales, that he was somehow owing the IRS 800,000. And I don't believe that can actually be happening. Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense.
Get how that would happen because he had a lot of losses. That doesn't.
Well, what they're saying, so
But it's
he
Swiss.
traded $45 million in volume over the course of that year. But he was trading a lot of the same tickers in and out, like GME, AMC, all the big tickers. So these big positions, he was having big wins, but he was also having big losses. So what they're saying is every time he lost, that's a wash sale, because he would get back in it within 30 days. So he can't count that loss against his wins, is what they're saying, which makes no fucking sense to me. You can't have your cake and eat it too, essentially. You can't say, well, when you win, that counts against you. But if you lose and then you try to trade it again, you can't count that. Like, no, there's no way that can be true.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's Charlie Sandy. That's from Reuters.
I got out of AMD for
There's
now. I
Credit
need a
Suisse
pop.
now at $3.05.
We all should have shorted Myrna at the top.
23 cents. That's Charlie Sandy.
Straight V.
Yep. I actually have shorts on Myrna now. I haven't had those in a long time. Not that I really looked in a long time either, but
It never moved fast, though. And it could have been just like PDD for all we know.
and I wouldn't have traded that at $186 anyway.
Yeah.
Also, I don't understand how if he only made $40,000 on the year, he would owe 800,000. That doesn't make sense.
He traded $45 million in volume Like he was taking big size in and out. It just so happens at the end of the year he only made 45,000. So like he probably won and lost millions of dollars.
But we don't. Oh, okay. So you're saying he won it, but he lost it, a lot of money. Okay.
Yeah, it was back and forth. I'm sure it probably wasn't all one way and then the other. Like he
didn't
was
have
actively day trading.
He was not very consistent though.
No, yeah, he was making
Yes.
10 to 50 trades a day apparently.
Interesting.
But that's what I'm
Ooh,
trying to
Fung
do.
Goo, what the fuck? I'm sorry.
Trying to do
I
research
think
on
you're
it. To,
screaming.
oh, you're fine. Just to try to figure out how this works. Because every video I've found trying to explain why he owes 800,000, they all say the same thing, and to me, it doesn't actually explain anything. Even CPAs have talked about it, and I'm like, what the heck is going on here?
I mean, is the moral of the story like if you had a big loss on something, you probably don't want to trade that same stock again?
For 30 days. I mean, that's what the wash
For
sale
30
is.
days.
Yeah. But
So
who
the
does
moral of the
that?
story would be don't trade it again for 30 days.
Yes.
Okay.
But
And that's just
again,
if
I
you
don't
had a
know if
big
it's true.
loss.
Yeah, I don't know if that's actually true.
IDK, man. IDK. Huh. I think the SPY is going to drop like a freaking rock. I know it's already come down a little bit, but I think it's going to come down a lot. Like under 400. In my guesstimate. So what does that leave us to do? Let's make money, guys.
Well, I have not put out a single order today, so.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of scratched my way to a little profit here.
And did you get any trades yesterday?
Devin or me?
Tim
Yeah.
hasn't traded in like 6 months or something.
No, yesterday I took 3 trades.
Okay.
Oh, yesterday you did trade. I forgot. Yesterday was the first day you traded in like a week.
A week, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
If you ever want to check if I traded, there's a channel like right above the voice channel, daily profit loss. You can just check in there.
I thought you were going to say there's a YouTube video.
Let me guess, you guys can't see that channel.
I can. That'd be funny.
Well, no, well, that actually happened. Apparently, I had it there, and for like a year and a half, I was posting in there, and I had it set so no one could see it. I felt like an absolute idiot when I found out.
You were going to say something else.
I was. I'm glad I stopped. It's funny too because I didn't even stop because I realized I was going to say it. I just like stopped because I thought idiot was a more appropriate term.
Gotcha.
All right, so I'm reading this for the first time. This is what Addedly is saying. He said, "Let's say you made $50,000 on Apple, December 15th.
$50,000 on Apple.
You lose $49,000 on Apple, December 16th, so the next day. Year to date, you're up $1,000. If you trade,
Hold on, wait, stop. I lost 50,000. I know I won 50,000.
Correct.
But then I lost how much?
49,000.
So I made 1,000 on it. Overall.
Correct. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
The very next day, yeah, you lost 49, but you're still up 1,000. He's saying if you trade on January 1st, your loss won't count for that year, meaning you owe taxes for the $50,000 that you won. How does that make any
You
sense?
traded December 31st and then you traded January 1st?
Well, he's saying, I'm guessing it could be December 2nd for all that matters, because he's basically saying if you don't make it to that month and then you trade on January 1st.
But if you traded January 1st, it would go to the next year. So of course, that's misleading because you're rolling over a year for your taxes. You know what I mean?
I get that you have to. I get that you have. Yeah, but I get that you have to wait a full 30 days. However, if it's leading into the next year, so why does anybody trade in December?
General,
Like, that wouldn't make any
Executive
sense.
says cost
Yeah, I don't
pressures
know. It
experienced in Q3 will
doesn't make
carry
any
over
sense.
into Q4.
Oh, because he's saying anything that you
but
trade
will
in
will
December
be
would
largely
bleed into the
resolved
next
by
year.
Q1 of next year.
But my point is, how does that even make sense? Because you lost the 49,000 to counteract it. So what's it matter if it's within 30 days or not? Like when you do your end of year report, it's going to show 50,000 in wins on Apple and then 49,000 in losses on Apple, which should counteract each other, and you're up 1,000. You get taxed on the 1,000.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, how basic is that? Like, I don't understand why it would be any different.
Maybe that's 87,000 new IRS agents is for, to go through everybody's trades.
I don't know.
Morgan Stanley CEO says we will.
Well, if
know.
they
That
can screw you, they're gonna find it. That's all I
wealth
know.
business.
Like, that seems ridiculous.
Yeah, but Adley,
Michael Sandy.
if you don't trade it for 30 days, if you made the trade on December 15th,
I don't get it.
at the end of the year, those $50,000 would still be claimed. So if you don't lose the 49,000 until that next year, the January 15th or whatever the 30 days is, that doesn't make any sense. Like you would that, and then you would have to claim the 50,000 because the year ended and you were still up that 50,000. But if you turn right around and lose that 49,000, how does that make any sense that they're going to count that 50,000 against you? That's the part I don't get.
Coming up at 10:30.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
Eastern Time.
So you're basically telling me that according to this rule, like let's say I trade PDD today and I somehow lose $1,000. Let's just say. And then I trade it again within the next 30 days and I make $1. That I can't declare that $999 loss.
I mean, that's what he's saying. Because you didn't wait 30 days.
That doesn't make any sense. So that's just weird.
Morgan Stanley CEO says our target is to bring in.
So he's also saying, like, if you waited the 30 days, but see, this is the part that I don't get, because say you wait the 30 days, say you place a trade on December 15th, you make 50,000. You wait 30 days, you lose 49,000 on January 15th or whatever 30 days is. So you're still going to have to claim that 50,000 on your taxes from the year prior because the year ended.
Yes.
But now, sure, you don't have the wash sale, but you now have $49,000 in losses for the next year, which then if you're not mark to market anyway, you can only claim $3,000 of it. So it's, but I'm this just makes no sense to me. I need to get a tax guy on here or in here. The worst part is it's probably going to be real hard to get because, well, I guess not until the end of the year. They can't be that busy right now.
So the IRS views this activity as creating artificial losses for tax breaks.
Well, okay, so let's backtrack. For anyone that doesn't know why the wash sale rule was implemented, it was implemented because you'd have big corporations with huge positions. On December 31st, they would dump their losses. They could write those losses off on their taxes, and then they could rebuy them January 1st.
CFTC chairman says.
Yeah.
And act like, so they get to write off all the losses and then basically get right back into the position like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
So that's why the wash sale is there, so that if somebody wants to dump on December 31st, they have to wait until January 31st or February 1st or whatever to get back into that position.
And odds are they bought in at a better position because they dumped huge amounts.
Well, right. Yeah. I mean, it still could work out for them. And a lot of companies, I'm sure, do exactly that. They just take the risk that they might have to buy it back at a little bit of a higher price.
Yeah.
Like, I get the understanding of the wash sale rule, but it should be for just that. But I don't, so now if we really think about that, right? Like, say a company does that, it would be in reverse though, right? Because you're selling a huge loss to profit on getting back in after the fact. But in this case, if you're still up on the trade overall,
U.S.
how-
Deputy
God,
Treasury
it's so confusing.
Treasury Secretary Eddie Amos said
It's not
the
adding up in my
agreement
head.
on $60 price cap is in the range of prices that have been discussed for a while.
No,
1 minute to natural gas storage.
because it
draw the
seems
income
illogical.
DCF on EIA natural gas
Well,
I'll have to
right,
read about
because
this later.
think about all the people that are doing this unknowingly. You're
Yes.
telling me that all these people that are taking bigger positions like that are getting this big tax bill and they're just not saying anything about it? Like, no, there's no effing way, because this has to happen a lot. Froggo. Froggo makes a point, but at the same time, I mean, you can't. That would basically be stealing. You're like making
Because
up.
you've probably actually done this on Tesla, like is kind of what we're saying, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, like where you had the big loss and then you made a little bit back.
Yeah, it literally just happened not that long ago. Like I lost $1,000 on it, and then I made like $30 back. So essentially,
So
that
they're saying that
$1,000 loss
is wiped out. You can't
correct.
declare that.
Yeah.
Well, think about Matt.
Because you made $30.
But that's
I
what
don't
I'm
get
saying.
even, like, that just sounds crazy. That
draw
doesn't
Yeah.
sound like
51
that's
BCF.
possible,
So
right?
you're telling me at the end of the year, like if I
versus the
made 10
84
grand,
draw that was
that's
expected.
$1,000 that I can't put towards that income because so even though, all right, so say I made 9 grand, but on paper I made 10 grand. But
Because
it's
of
actually 9 grand
wait,
because of the $1,000 loss.
because of the $1,000 loss. Yes,
Correct.
yes,
But they're
okay.
going to put on, so you're telling me on paper I'm going to get taxed 10,000 instead of 9,000 because of the wash sale rule. Like, that makes no sense to me.
Well, think about Matt as. All he does is basically Tesla.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's a really good point. Like someone that takes a huge loss and then gets right back in and has a huge win. So you're telling me that that loss is not going to counteract the win? So let's do it the other way. Say you lose, we'll use Matt as an example. Say you lose 250 grand, but then you turn around that same day and make the 250 grand back. That now you're going to get taxed on that 250 grand, but you can't count the 250 grand loss against that?
Yeah.
That makes zero sense.
He'd be broke.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You broke even on the trade overall, but you're going to sit here and tell me that the IRS is going to tax me for the winning part of that?
On Sandy, India.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
I mean, I wouldn't put anything by the IRS, but
Yeah, but that's even say you're just talking like 30%. That's almost 100 grand for a stock that you broke even on.
Owner Meta reached out to EU antitrust regulators and bid to settle investigations.
But then again, he might be mark to market, so that would not matter, I guess.
Facebook had very preliminary.
So it's important to note you cannot get around the wash sale rule by selling an investment at a loss in a taxable account and then buying it back in a tax advantage account. Wash sale rule.
I don't know.
Why December? Well, Addedly's saying we should only be worried about December, but the part that I don't understand is like, what does it matter if we do this in July?
Yeah.
Like, what does it matter? Yeah, what does it matter when I have a big loss and then trade again?
Said the biggest risk is
like if you're day trading and you're in and out all the time.
That was a quote from the.
I mean, that's the part that I don't get. Why does only December
for the month of December?
Mentioned by Bear Cave report.
Because they're protecting against companies doing that.
Now 2660.
Well, yeah, I get that for big like swing positions.
No, but is that only the month? I mean, still screw us for the month of December. But
right, because if you take a big loss, you can't get those 30 days. But again, that's what I'm saying though. Like, what is it? What would it matter if you trade the same day to make up a loss or give back a loss? Versus, doing it into December. Like, what's it matter if I do it July 1st versus December 30th? Like,
no, I understand. It doesn't make any sense, but. You guys have shorts on BBBY?
I do.
BBBY.
because it just spiked. I mean, it's still not a huge range, but just spiked up like 20 cents.
Yeah, I pulled it up. Like to see more out of it. 370s.
Yeah, I can't do anything with it. It's hard to buy from borrow from me, but yeah, 370s would be nice.
Have it up.
Yeah, this isn't enough of an extension for me.
No.
I think the moral of the story is it's important not to lose.
But that's my thing is there's going to be times where you do lose, but if you make it up, yeah, that's the part I don't get. But that was always my impression is if at the end of the year you made money, then you have nothing to worry about because they're just going to tax you on how much you made.
Yes.
Because that's technically the only taxable income that you have.
But
Yeah.
that's not true.
It is true.
Well,
If I'm flat on all my positions and I made, we'll go to this guy's example again, 45,000 on the year. How can you tell me that I made more than that?
Easy. I'll tell. This is exactly how they do it. Let's say you start at the beginning of the year, your account at $100,000. Let's say your account's $100,000, just to use an even number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And let's say at the end of the year, you're at 120,000. You're not getting taxed on just the 20,000 above 100,000. Every trade that you lost, let's say you lost cumulatively $50,000 over all the trades, and let's say every trade was a wash sale, and then you made back that 50 plus another 20. They're going to charge you 70,000 instead of 20,000, because that 50,000 that you made to get back to 100,000, that's all taxable income because you can't write off your 50,000 in losses.
How is that legal?
Welcome to the government.
VAPO heavy.
That doesn't sound right.
But that's exactly how it is. That's what the wash sale rule is, and that's a big problem, especially for day traders and scalpers that are scalping in and out. So anytime you take a loss and you make the money back, it's as if you're starting from $9 instead of $10. You're paying taxes on all the money you made to get back to zero.
So you're saying that $50,000,
$30,000, and let's say you were down $30,000 on the year at some point, and then you climbed your way back up to be up $10,000. So you went from 100 to 70 to 110. He's saying that if all those losses were wash sales where you also bought the same stock to make it back up, you're going to be charged for $40,000 on your taxes, even though you only really made 10K at the end of the day.
Correct. And you don't even have to go down to 70,000. If you trade one stock, if you trade Tesla during the day and you made 10 trades, and on 3 of them you won, and on 7 of them you lost, it doesn't matter how much money you lost. If you make it all back, you get charged everything. You could start $100,000 and you could end the day at 92,000, or you could end the day at 102,000. It doesn't matter how much you lost. You don't get to write off any of those losses against your profit. Your profit goes, any loss gets washed away. And it's as if you're starting from scratch. So you don't have to specifically go down to 70,000. But if you lost $100 on a trade, then the next trade you made $150. So net, you're only up $50. You're going to get taxed on $150. And you can't use that $100 that you lost against it, even though net you're only up $50.
I get what you're saying. That just sounds like thievery.
Marijuana moment.
It is.
Tweeting now.
It is. That's why that whole mark-to-market thing really helps out. I mean, Luke has spoken about it in the past in his room. And every year in December time, all these new traders that joined are always bitching and moaning and talking about it, and none of them have any clue or understand anything about it. And they're like completely lost when they look at their adjusted wash sale gains, and they're like, "What the hell?" I had 1 year on my taxes, disallowed wash sales was like $75,000.
So you're telling me you got taxed on
it.
an extra $75,000 that year?
Yep. There was $75,000 in losses that I was not allowed to claim.
All right. This is annoying.
Stop B/E Jason in case.
That's something we should all probably think about. I mean, just
well, yeah, I'm gonna look into it
sizing
more.
Up.
Well, that's what even brought it up. What it was the fact that I was sizing up, and somebody I don't even remember who it was, but they made me think of Tesla when I thought about it, and I was like, well, then I guess that's going to be a disallowed wash sale because I traded it instantly right afterwards.
Traded again and made a little bit back.
No, I didn't make anything back, but I kept trading it.
Oh, so even if
I don't think it matters. Yeah, I don't think it matters. Yeah, once you trade it again, whether you win or lose, it disallows that previous sale. I don't think it has anything to do with winning and losing. You lost on the next trade. We'll let you count the bigger one.
Yeah.
So, addedly, Steve apparently is saying that you are 100% right. Well, Steve's not even in here. There he is. So, what Steve was saying is what addedly apparently has been trying to say. Steve, I guess, was just better at describing how it works.
It happens once in a while.
I just don't understand how day traders that are not mark to market then that are sized up can even make a living. How would you even be able to do that? Because you're going to keep getting taxed on shit that you shouldn't be taxed on. I mean, I guess that's why you need to be mark to market.
Don't lose.
That's how to avoid it. It says if you decide to harvest some losses in your portfolio by selling individual stock, you're safe from triggering a wash sale as long as you don't purchase the same exact stock shares within 30 days.
SB, is he mark to market?
Realized loss. Well, you can't do it before, you idiot.
He has to be, right? Wasn't that what the whole discussion yesterday was about?
That is the dumbest thing I've ever read. So what should you do if you want to lock in some losses, but you don't want to wait 30 days to reinvest? One way to now this is investment, not trading, in my opinion, but one way to maintain some exposure after selling a stock purchase is to purchase an ETF in the similar market sector. So I'm saying don't do the same exact stock.
No, that's not relevant.
That's not relevant to what we're talking about, yeah.
No. So what happens for day traders is the first year, they get screwed over big time, and then their accountant tells them, hey, dummy, you got to fill out this form, and then you're fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, because if it's mark to market, then this doesn't apply.
Okay, hold on. So I'm researching. Now listen to this. It says, in my opinion, it's kind of bullshit. All the wash sale rule does is add the loss to your cost basis for the next trade of the same security or substantially identical security. So in order to get hit by it, you'd have to be doing something really strange in order not to recapture that loss on the next trade. They don't really explain that all, blah, blah, blah. So what they're saying is, we'll use my Tesla example. I lose $1,000 on Tesla. Well, I go to enter that trade again, right away to try to. Charlie.
Preferred getting a pop here. Small pop.
So say I get right back in trying to revenge trade it. It essentially will reopen that trade with the underlying fact that I am already down that $1,000. So if I were to lose, say, another $100, I've now lost a total of $1,100 on that ticker. The wash sale, I believe, is to from what I'm reading, is to prevent you from buying that security back after the fact and holding on to it for a longer period of time. So if I take 3 trades back to back to back and I say lose 1,000, lose 100, make 100, that would be I'm down 1,000. But each time I open that trade, because it was within that 30 days, that the losses basically accumulate on that ticker. So I'm a little confused how Steve ended up with the wash sale disallowed. Like it must, because I don't know how they necessarily trigger per se, but the way that guy just described it, that makes sense in my head. Where they're, because I've also heard that from one of the CPA videos. Now that I'm thinking about it, but I didn't understand it at the time. But now that makes total sense.
I still don't understand it. Can you explain it to me?
But basically, what I'm saying is, if you I get you. No, I agree. I'm on the same boat. I'm learning this with you.
And I don't take big losses like that, so it's not like the biggest deal to me. But I mean, still,
well, it could add up.
Sizing up, dude. You know.
Yeah. Well, and it could add up. I mean,
what if I trade PDD and I have, I end up kind of break evenish on it, but I've overall made $10,000. I'm going to get taxed that.
Yeah, but I mean, even like $100 20 times, it adds up.
It can add up, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, anytime you trade a stock multiple times, if you trade it for a $20 loss, and then you trade it again, you don't get that $20 loss as a credit.
Yeah, but see, what I'm saying is when you open that next trade on the same ticker, it's opening up with the cost basis already down that $20.
Correct. Yep. Yeah, you can actually in E-Trade in my portfolio, I can have it show a wash sale adjusted price. So let's say the stock, I bought the stock at $6. I sold it at $5. So I'm down $1. It goes down to $3. I buy it again. It shows my cost as $4. So if I sell that stock at $3.30, I'm selling it at a 70-cent loss. But that's just showing you the prices. You still don't get to count that as a loss for yourself. So even if you make $10 on it, you don't get that money back.
But so the part that I don't get about that is if it's averaging you down, which is what you're making it sound like on the back end, like your cost basis,
it averages you up.
Well, yeah, but it's averaging, so it's taking your old trade into account. So it's essentially combining the trades. So when you close that combined trade, wouldn't the loss on it be the same as if it were if you only took one loss on the trade? Like, that's the part that I don't understand.
So you're saying if you bought the stock at 5, sold it at 4, rebought it at 3, so your average is now $4, and you sell it at $4, you should be flat. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Yes.
But
you're telling me,
they're still charging you a $100 gain.
Yeah, which makes no fucking sense. So you lose 100, you buy back in, you gain 100, so you're flat on paper, but they're going to still charge you for that $100 because you did it within 30 days.
Correct.
That makes no fucking sense. I need to take a walk.
Welcome to the SEC. And all these newbie day traders every year get screwed over with this stuff.
10 to 15% of its chief operating officer roles worldwide, result in at least 200 jobs being eliminated. That's crazy, Reuters. Company declines to comment on.
Bro, I'm 4 years into this, and apparently I'm one of those newbie traders because I'm just now starting to grasp this. But I also wasn't profitable until last year anyway.
Take a look at your 1099.
Well, I was actually yesterday I was trying to find it. I know it's somewhere. I just don't know where.
Well, this year's won't be created until the end of the year. But you can look at last year's.
No, I was looking for last year's, yeah.
It should be online on your account.
All right, let me look.
And then you can go through the pages and it'll show you disallowed.
Well, I was just
Disallowed
looking
losses.
at Interactive Brokers because I was curious if I just missed putting trades in. So I went on to my Interactive Brokers account to see when the last time I had traded as of yesterday. And I saw that that was a column in their thing was wash sale something. I didn't really look into it, but I think it said, like you said, adjusted wash sale cost or whatever, or amount.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I don't know how Interactive Brokers reports everything. I just know what E-Trade does. I would assume it should be pretty standard industry wide. But yeah, it's an issue that people don't really pay attention to.
Well, I think it's an
Basically,
issue
the
a
moral of
lot.
the story is if you take a big loss, don't fucking take that trade again. I mean, just let that one sit.
Who does that, Devin? Come on.
Oh,
That's why I've got.
That's what you
That's
guys
also
should
why
do.
I've got stuff sitting in my portfolio that I haven't just dumped because I don't need them, because some of my gains and losses, some of my losses don't count. So it's just sitting there. I got to wait on him. But it's all good. Where are we at? The headset's not working right now. I'm going into apartment building. When I come back out, I'll try and get back on the headset.
All right.
Now, the way I look at it is because I'm profitable, it shouldn't impact me too difficultly bad, though. You know, because and I don't take massive losses, which that is something I'll probably add. If I do take a big loss on anything, I'm probably not going to trade it again for 30 days.
No, so you
NATO
actually, you being
Stoltenberg on
profitable,
Poland's request to move Patriot
your
missile
profits,
systems
you
to
actually have more
Ukraine.
profits than you
They
realize.
all agree on the urgent need to support
Yeah, but
Ukraine
it won't be
defense,
like
you're not
because my
gonna
losses are so small, it
have
won't be
ammunition and
gigantic.
maintenance.
Okay.
You
I
know
mean,
what
whatever it is,
Any
just think about it.
difference is not going to be excessive for me.
Let's say your average loss is $30.
Okay.
Okay. And let's say over the course of a year, you have 200 losses. Just 200 trades that you lost on.
200 trades. Okay.
Which makes sense based on how much you trade over the course of the day.
Yeah, it's possible.
Okay, so if it's your average loss is $30, so that's $6,000.
Yeah.
So that's not terrible.
That would be $6,000 that it's going to say I made, even though I didn't.
Right. So even though net, that $6,000 is not in your account, but they will say that you made this, that you will be taxed on. Correct.
Gotcha.
You know, it's just something to keep in mind. So if you size up,
how do you do that market to market thing?
There's a file that you send in with your taxes, and it will only count for the next year. It won't count for the year prior.
Well,
So like if you send it in, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't understand. Like, do you use a CPA or do you use you do like TurboTax or whatever?
You're talking to me?
Yeah.
I did TurboTax last year, but I mean, this year is going to be the first year that I really have because I just opened this up in December of last year. So it didn't really play a big
Yeah, I see
role
that
in
addedly.
my taxes.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
This
Like, I
year
wonder if
played a
that's
bigger
something that
role.
you even reported without knowing. Like,
Yeah,
I would
I don't
assume
know.
it's
Don't know.
probably, I guess, in your 1099 from your broker, I guess.
I would assume, yeah.
he used an offshore broker last year. There's no way they were reporting anything.
I know. I mean, there was like literally not even a full month of trades in IB last year. So I didn't report shit from
Well, that's even more scary.
the other. Right.
Yeah, but if you size up and let's say now your average loss next year, your average win is what? I don't know. Let's say $400, $500, and your average loss is 75 to 100, and then you have 200 of those, then that's $20,000.
Yeah, That's where it could get you.
How do you search
Because
a PDF?
you have a tendency to trade the same tickers over and over.
I do, yes.
I know you do. But I said you do.
Wonder on the tax forms where this would be. Do you know that, Steve?
On your tax form, it's on your
Yeah.
it's on your personal. Not by your W-2. A little further down, probably like the third page. Like when you have interest income, that type of stuff.
Yeah, it says wages, income, capital gain.
There you go, capital gains. That's what it's called.
So it's listed under capital gain?
Well, the net is, it's not going to be your wash sale stuff. That's not going to be listed on your tax return. That's going to be listed on your 1099 of what the company. What do you have? IB?
Yeah.
Yeah. What they report to the government, they report your income.
So I got to look
What
for
you put
that
in-
1099 is what you're saying.
Yeah, you got to look on IB. Yeah, that's not going to be on your tax return unless you used a CPA and you itemized everything. If you itemize every single trade, that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother monster, which I'm sure you didn't do because even CPAs don't want to do that. My father used to do that for me until he was like, I just can't do this. I said, so don't. He said, there's too many trades. Like you're trading millions of dollars and gazillions of shares because I was trading penny stocks.
Right.
I said, so don't do that.
Holy shit. There it is.
What?
So I traded last year 870. Hold on. Okay. So I'm going to have to ask about this, but I think I found looking at it. So I traded upwards of 876,000. Yeah, I am.
Maybe you should
Which, I
stop.
mean, it's not a big deal. I'm not giving away any personal information. So I
Okay.
traded $876,000 worth of stocks last
FDIC
year.
Acting chairman
Okay.
says
And it's
FDIC
saying-
is closely monitoring
Well-
current cryptocurrency.
I know.
Yeah. Apparently, my proceeds, which are gross proceeds less the commissions and everything, so this is the final number, was $1,700.36. So that's all I made last year. However, if you
Okay.
go back up to where it says wash sale loss disallowed, it's $7,920.93.
So they're going to charge you. They're going to tax you on $9,000.
That's insane. So that's what that's saying, is they're taking the wash sale that was disallowed plus your proceeds and adding that together, and that's what you get taxed on, even though that's not what you actually made.
I believe that is the
right.
formula.
I'm going to message my CPA and see if that's what he says. Because
That
if
would be
that's the
crazy.
case, then that's insane that he wouldn't bring. Because I've asked him before if it was worth it to go mark to market. How would being taxed on $8,000 extra a year not be worth it when all you have to do is fill out a piece of paper?
Yeah, there might be other ways that he buries the gains.
Yeah, but you
But
shouldn't have to.
It's certainly worth a conversation.
AMC's moving, by the way, or trying to move.
And there are also specific CPAs that specialize for traders.
Well, this guy supposedly is one of those. Like
Okay.
he's always had an answer to my questions, but this would basically make me fire him instantly.
I mean, we can always give you an answer to your question. You just have to make it sound like we know what we're talking about.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Like I said, this would be grounds for not using him ever again.
Well, let us know what he says.
Yeah,
Because
well,
these things change. So maybe my information might be old. So yeah, when he gives you an answer on how this whole thing works, let us know what it is that he says, if you understand what he says.
Zach Small Cap Research with a $27 price valuation. Quebec Lima.
Well, now I feel like I gotta only take my winning trades.
That's why you gotta hold the trade. Don't take the loss. You gotta hold the trade.
Hold the trade. You can't take the loss. Or at least you gotta wait. Or you
Did
gotta
you
take
get
it
charged
right
thousands? What the hell?
You know what? If I gotta pay for this,
I mean,
win,
according, I was trying to see if it showed anything personal because I know I was going to show you.
Getting a pop here.
I don't see anything personal in here.
Report.
So I can make it a little smaller. All right. So right here, this was proceeds, gross proceeds, loss, less commissions and options, blah, 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 costs on other basis, blah, blah, blah. And then here's the wash sale disallowed, 7,920. But then if you come down here, the proceeds from the year is only 1,736.
Says response to short seller report coming.
At least that's what I'm curious.
Sandy Romeo.
I thought I made more than that last year. But, I mean, I know I scaled way down, but I didn't think I scaled that far down. It says I made $4,000, but I guess that was before commissions. Yeah, a lot in commissions. I mean, I could see it, I guess.
DLTR, Dollar Tree, press release from the Department of Labor citing Dollar Tree for endangering workers and safety violations in the workplace. That's Delta Lima Tango Romeo.
All right. I'm gonna get off here. My youngest son apparently needs to be picked up from school. This never ends. I'll be in the Discord in a little bit after I go get him to try to figure this out. Thanks, appreciate it. It's fine. He just has like he's been complaining about his leg or something, but the overall income for all sources income is less than 10K. I think you won't pay taxes. Oh, well, that's not the case because my wife makes plenty of money. Well, it is kind of funny that we're this oblivious to something that matters so much. If it's how it works. But
Interestingly, too.
I'll see
You
what
guys
he
there?
says first. Yeah.
I'm listening to another one that says, like, let's say, he's using it very just straightforward, So you make a trade and you make $100,000. Crazy for good trade, you make 100K. Right? So then you got this extra 100K in account, you were at 100, now you're at 200, you go into another account, you're down 50,000 on that one. So now you've lost 50, so now you've made 50. Saying the IRS is still going to say, well, you made $100,000 on that one trade. So you owe on the $100,000. Doesn't matter that now you're down 50. You're going to have to pay on the $100,000 trade that you did realize.
Right. So that's a double doinker.
That's a double doinker, even on top of the doinker for the wash sale.
But at the end of the year, when you claim the $50,000 loss, as long as you don't do the wash sale on that account, that'll count against your 100,000 in profit. So
that would
it
count
evens
against
out.
if you don't have a wash sale.
Right. That's the whole key here is the wash sale. I don't know. I have to run and go get my son though. Apparently
TM
he
Toyota,
hurt his leg or something.
North America reported November
I'll be back.
2022 US sales of 169.
All right, guys. I'll be back tomorrow morning. No trades today. This AMC, it kind of sucks because it looks like it could be interesting up through 8 here, but I got to go. So I will see you tomorrow morning. Peace.
AMC partial fill.
Toyota's North America's November 22
Dang it.
electrified sales totaled 38,288 vehicles, down 9.4% on a volume basis.